When you're running a serious Google Ads account, one of the worst feelings is seeing dozens of clicks but zero conversions. The traffic is coming in, the money is being spent, but the phone isn't ringing. Most beginners react by increasing the budget or changing ad headlines randomly. A skilled marketer does something different. They start the debugging process. Let's take a real example. We were running a campaign for SAT online coaching. The ads were getting clicks, but after 30 clicks, with zero conversions, we knew something was wrong. That's the 30-click warning. At that point, it's usually not a budget problem. It's either intent mismatch or a technical issue. The first place we checked was the search term report. This reveals what users actually typed. We found searches like SAT practice tests, Khan Academy SAT, and free mock tests. The fix was simple. Pause broad keywords like test prep and focus only on high intent terms like SAT online tutors and SAT coaching classes. But what if the keywords are correct and conversions are still zero? Then you check the landing page. Sometimes the real problem is technical, a broken form, a failed API, or leads not reaching the CRM. Always submit the form yourself and confirm it reaches the thank you page and database. Debugging removes the guessing. Is the problem keywords, landing page, or follow-up speed? Once we narrow the SAT campaign to online tutor intent, the conversion rate immediately improved. And the key to finding those high intent keywords from the start is learning to use Keyword Planner as a forecasting engine, not just a suggestion tool. If you want to stop gambling with your clients' money, stop treating Keyword Planner like a simple dictionary. Most beginners use it just to find a few keywords and immediately create ads. But a professional performance marketer uses it as a forecasting engine, a tool to predict results before spending a single dollar. Instead of relying only on seed keywords like SAT coaching, use the start with a website feature, enter a competitor's URL or your landing page, and Google will scan it to generate relevant keywords based on intent. This uses the same logic behind dynamic search ads, helping you understand how Google actually interprets your product. Never add keywords directly to a live campaign. Add high-intent keywords to a plan first. This draft environment shows estimated clicks, CPC, and total cost. This becomes your media plan. Instead of guessing a budget, you can tell a client, with a $2 CPC, $500 clicks will require a $1,000 budget. You should also watch for seasonality. For example, SAT searches spike heavily in July. If you ignore this, your budget could run out quickly during peak months. Identifying these trends helps you prepare clients for higher competition and bids. Using Keyword Planner this way shifts the conversation from spending money to investing strategically. But even with the right keywords and budget, success depends on where you send the traffic. If your landing page's conversion architecture is weak, even the best campaign won't work. That's why we need to examine the foundation, the basement of the landing page. When people talk about conversion tracking, they usually think it's just a technical setting, but in reality, it's about architecture. The way your landing page handles a successful action affects both data accuracy and user experience. In professional setups, we generally see two main types of conversions: thank you page redirects and Ajax on-page messages. For years, the gold standard was the thank you page. A user fills out a form, clicks submit, and is redirected to a new URL like Yach, thank you, or confirmation. From a tracking perspective, this is very reliable. You simply tell Google, if someone visits this URL, count it as a lead. It's clean, easy to audit, and highly accurate. However, from a user experience perspective, redirects can feel slow, especially on mobile connections, where loading another page just to see a success message can be frustrating. That's why many modern developers prefer Ajax submissions. With Ajax, the page doesn't reload. Instead, a small message appears instantly saying, "Thank you, we'll contact you soon." The challenge is tracking. Because the URL doesn't change, You can't rely on a simple page view trigger in Google Tag Manager. Instead, you need event tracking or element visibility triggers. If this isn't configured correctly, you can create blind spots where leads happen but Google Ads never records them. Personally, I'd accept a little tracking complexity if it improves the user experience, because better experience usually means higher conversion rates. This leads to something I call the mobile friction audit. Open your landing page on your own phone. Can you fill the form easily? Or is the submit button hidden behind a sticky header? Another common mistake is pop-up forms. When a user clicks book now and a pop-up appears with 10 fields, it feels overwhelming and easy to close. To understand the true value of your ads, we need to follow that lead into the real world and connect the click to the final revenue. In high-level media buying, a lead isn't the final goal. Revenue is. If you only track form submissions, you're seeing only half the picture. The real growth comes from revenue attribution, which we achieve by building an ROI loop between your Google Ads and your CRM. Here's the typical journey. A user clicks your ad, lands on your page, and submits a form. Google Ads counts this as a conversion. But what happens next? The lead moves to a CRM like Zoho or Salesforce, where the sales team follows up. Some leads buy, many don't. If this loop isn't connected, Google Ads only learns how to find people who submit forms, not people who actually pay. To solve this, we use offline conversions. When someone clicks an ad, Google generates a unique ID called a JICLID. Using dynamic UTM parameters, this ID and campaign data are stored in the CRM along with the lead. Now imagine 15 days later, a lead pays $1,000. Because the GC lead is stored, the CRM knows exactly which ad click generated that sale. When we send that admission confirmed data back to Google Ads, the dashboard changes. Instead of just 10 leads, you now see 10 leads and one sale worth $1,000. Now you can calculate real ROAS. If you spend $200 on ads and generated $1,000 in revenue, that's a 5x return. Sometimes higher cost leads perform better. I've seen campaigns with $10 leads that never convert, while $50 leads generate high ticket sales every week. Without the ROI loop, you'd kill the wrong campaign. This setup requires a simple bridge. If your CRM doesn't integrate directly with Google Ads, tools like Zapier or Pabbly can send an offline conversion whenever a lead status changes to paid. Once this loop is built, everything changes. You stop chasing cheap leads and start optimizing for actual revenue. And when you can show clients exactly how many dollars their ads generated, you stop being a cost. You become a profit center. Stay tuned for more episodes. Subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you get notified for the next one.